we have Delirium. Do I tell you, they don't want to lose to their own deck, and they will. I tell you, man, there's no deck that gets so much roping as this one. So we pump the mouse because, of course, we have red mana, and we'll show our opponent how to play mono red. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today deck that I think you'll really like. Have you ever dreamed of just destroying your opponent with their own cards, with their own deck and their own win cons? Well, now you can, because with 4 Outrageous Robbery together with Journey and Cornucopia, you have so much mana that you can basically keep stealing your opponent's deck like every second turn, and you literally kill them with their own creatures, their own red heisters, or whatever they thought that they will use against you. Rest of the deck is full of removal and discard, so you can actually take control over the game fully. They cannot threaten you, and with Journey you get so many lands, and those lands do things that you actually can play the whole game even if you top deck nothing but lands. So this is very fun. There will be a lot of aggro salt, and I know you guys will like it. I know. I'm reading the comments. And before we start this absolutely entertaining video, our absolute legend for today is none other than H. Smith, one of the most wholesome members of our channel, which I couldn't be thankful enough. And my friend, this deck is for you. It's absolutely fun, and I think you will absolutely love it. And with that being said, let's go to the gameplay and, you know, torment some aggro decks. And Go for the Throat goes here because their Gruul, like 4/3 Heister, is actually an artifact. I think it's a Scarecrow or something. So you want Anoint with Affliction on that one. And this puts 2 out of 4, so there was also an argument to exile it, but I think it's still just better to go for the Throat. This, they will draw 1 card, that's fine, but we also get very good Liliana value here. Yep, so everything will be hasted. Not the best draw. And now we go for -2. Alright, I hope they will whiff for a turn, but of course they probably won't. But that would help us a lot, especially that it seems that we are going to be mana screwed on the next turn, which is the last thing you want to see with this deck. Worm. Trample Haste, they need to pay 4 for it. Yep, so they can use it once, but it's 4 mana, 5, Haster and Trampler. It cannot be countered, but it's fine. This will definitely hit something, right? And that means Liliana will die. And here we go, the Scarecrow. But now they need to make a decision. Do they really not go face? They go face. They always have to go face. Love it. And they also wasted the card just to get the counter. However, they have disactivated already, so that is a bit of a problem. And we'll definitely play this. And do we go for Eclipse, or we just Anoint with Affliction this one? I'm fine with Inti. First we will discard a card. I don't think Eclipse will hit super hard here. But to be fair, Robber is probably even weaker. Let's go for the Robber. We have so many that we can always discard it if that's not the right situation. Alright, we know that they can play this, but they don't have targets. They will put counter probably here, I would guess. We'll see. I think they will go for the Worm because the stats are so good here. Okay, they want to draw cards, that's fine. And full swing. Let's see if they go for the discard, because they can. They only have 1 card right now. Interesting. Let's see what they will pump. Man, this will be so close. All right, a random card from the top, and let's see the counter. Okay, I really hope for this one. So that means the perfect Affliction. We get rid of this one. And we take only 2 damage, which is really nice. Liliana goes to the graveyard, but that also means that Necropsy is more powerful. And I think they lost all of those cards. Yep. So they can go this and draw a card, which is not perfect. I don't want to spend cards killing those worms because this will be so expensive. I want something from a different type so I can use Necropsy as 2 for 1. But both of them are normal creatures. Yeah, I guess maybe I should kill something else so I can Necropsy the Scarecrow. Maybe that was better. Alright. Good Eclipse target for sure. It's interesting they didn't go for this. That will potentially enable our nice sweeper, because now we can kill Samut and go for Eclipse and get rid of all of this. Okay, let's see what the hit is. I mean, this is an artifact. You know what? I think that's fine. They cannot discard anything, so they cannot get the value. You know what? I think with this could go very nicely. So let's go artifact and a creature. No enchantments, no planeswalkers. They don't play this kind of stuff. So this is 5 mana, I believe. Yep, let's go. We got rid of everything that is scary. We take 2 damage. Those worms will be such a problem though. Let's get rid of all of this. So normally against typical deck, the game is over. But of course they have all those extra value cards. And they have Delirium, so they can go for it. And then we have to double go for the Throat. We'll be probably, I think, at 4. And then we need to try to recover. I think it's doable. I cannot activate Cottages to exile those, because, you know, I need 5 mana for it. Vera, fear of missing out. They want to just draw the card. I see how it is. This is an enchantment, so it can go 2 for 1. And if they want to go for the worms, they need to go, you know, during first main phase, so they can attack. So they cannot bait attack with this one and then, you know, play it and attack. So that's a problematic situation for them. Yeah, like it's razor thin, but I think we're stabilizing a little bit, but it will be very close. All right, Samut. I'll be honest, this is kind of perfect, isn't it? And we want to do it now. No artifacts, creature, enchantment, and this hits so hard. This hits so hard. And this is what, 5 mana. So we go like this. You want to be efficient because Necropsies are super important for this deck. And that was their whole turn. Oh, I wanted to play this, but I just forgot that of course I'm mana screwed too. We have a cut down though. This will hit something sooner or later, so it's not the worst draw. And am I wrong on something? Yep, I mean they can do it. They can do it every turn. I think they are kinda scared to go for the Throats, but of course like we will hit something with it anyway. Alright, Surveil. And if they played like 1 or 2 creatures and we drew a land into Deadly Cover-Up, that would be so perfect. But let's not count on it too much. We kill it, otherwise we die. Land? Nope. No lands. Alright. But Robbery is at least some value. Yep, just go for it. Is it 5 mana? Oh, because it taps this for the color, so they don't need to pay. But they actually can cast it for 4. I mean, alright, we'll just keep removing it. And we need so many cards to just fight this kind of stuff. But we are stabilizing fully. We're actually stabilizing here. We will go Liliana for sure. They don't have land and mainland, so that's good. And I think this might be Deadly Cover-Up turn. Even if they discard Worm, it's still good for us. Otherwise you need to kill it twice, basically. And I want to get them to 0 cards, potentially. Alright, land. Not very impactful. But the next turn will be a bit better. They cannot do with it anything. So we are trying to get this maximum value with Liliana. Let's just keep removing everything. If you can trade Liliana for like 2 or 3 cards, that helps so much. Now we can Cornucopia, start life gaining, cut down, and you can see that the game is starting to reverse. They couldn't break us, even with this insane opening. And Alright, that's fine, that's fine. They're wasting resources on, you know, leftovers basically from the removal. Alright. This has to be a robber turn. But we don't want to play during our turn in case they draw a target that, you know, gets cut down basically. Yeah, I think they suspect how the game will end. And yep, not exactly how they imagined probably. That's nice, that's nice. We are getting there. Do we have Delirium? Do I tell you, they don't want to lose to their own deck and they will. So we will go like this and pass the turn. I hope it was quick enough. It wasn't perfect, but this way maybe they will think about the cut down, right? I think I'm not quick enough. I think they know. Let's take it, because they really want to use the map token, so I will invest this one life. But now they know. Yep. So for this reason they are not using anything, but we don't have 3 mana play as well, because you know, we have this kind of draw. So I will wait one more turn, trying to waste our opponent's mana. They don't have, like, they are not using map tokens, and until they do, we just stall. So I think this is pretty okay. This is surprisingly okay for us. I think we just go with this. Maybe one card is okay. So we go for Journey. They will go for Annex, we will go for Journey, and we'll fight with 2 value engines. And hopefully they won't draw too many cards with this. I could Necropsy, but I don't have enough in the graveyard yet. So let's go. Alright, this will be some solid value. I don't think we need the land. Definitely Cottage. Definitely Surveillant. I think we go for 1 Demolition Field. Fountainport. And what is the mana? We need double black. Let's go for the Swamp actually. No, Wastes. I will pay myself if you know, the mana is sketchy. Alright, that's nice. Go for the... I mean, this will definitely help, because at some point they will activate the Ritual Chamber. Don't forget, it burns their life right now. Alright, going for 1. This, of course, will be a bit of a problem, but let's be honest. They just smacked Annex into Dimir, you know, like tempo, because this card always works and this card always works. Just use them and you are ahead. So, what can we do? We are getting a lot of mana every turn, but we need to try to go for something. How many cards we have? Not many yet. Not many yet. I think we just go for the Throat here. Don't forget, every turn we are ramping like crazy. Here's the Cottage, and we even have this Cottage already. Let's see the play. I don't think they will go for Ritual Chamber. 1 card will be acceptable. And it also buffs our graveyard. So when you kill a creature, it's still in the board. That's the that's the rule. Oh man, love it. And we lose 1 card because we are not an aggro deck. Alright, alright. I think 1 card that they draw is acceptable. It will help them a lot, but you know, at least we can do stuff. And you know what? I'm really tempted to just get 2 cards here, because then I can fuel Necropsy a little bit better. We'll have 5 in the graveyard. We could also... No. Let's go for it. I think this is a good play. Because we need to fight for value. Bat is pretty nice. And Sanctuary is also pretty nice. Like, we'll have to remove a lot of stuff on this turn. Let's go with this. And do we go with the Bat right now? Our Urgent Necropsy is so good here. I will go for this play. So, 0 converted cost, a creature. I mean, we have to go for this guy. And enchantment. I think this one is a little bit better, right? And we have 4. Yeah, I think this is good enough value. I think this is a decent play. You know, a 3-for-1 trying to match aggro deck's value, the classic, and now we have double journey, so that should extremely help with all the extra mana that we need. And we need all the functional lands so we can, you know, do stuff. And we take Demolition Field. Yeah, because they have Sanctuary. Alright, we're close to stabilizing. Like, with all of those lands, we can basically play the game even if we don't draw anything. But we are fully tapped, so this is their big turn. They can do a lot here. So they went with 6-7 damage, probably. But we have Cornucopia, we have Cottages, so as long as we can stop the bleeding, we can recover. And we also have more Necropsy in the deck. And of course this Robbery. So if we get a free turn, we can draw like 10 cards. And then we basically equalize everything that happened here. But we need to do it. I honestly think we just pass the turn. I think we just pass the turn, because we are getting so much every turn. They cannot attack with Sanctuary, they have only 1 damage basically in the board. Fairy Mastermind. Alright, that's a little bit better for them. It is a little bit better, so we will do it anyway, so let's do it now. So they cannot use 1 mana right now, so this mana will be wasted. If we remove during their turn, they can play an instant. So this is 3 damage. 5 with Annex and 6 with Map. Still not dead, still not dead. Let's go for a Swamp here. And every turn we are getting more and more value of those lands. We can go double Fountainport if we really want to, but of course everything has flying, so that's a bit of a problem. 3 damage. Man, this is really close, but I think we're getting to the breaking point where we can actually be super ahead. I think we're like 1 Necropsy from winning this game. Map token after the combat phase. Sure. Reef, very good draw. And they're losing life, they are not dealing anything. 8 cards. Not much of it very relevant. I think it's 7, right? 2, 6, no, it's 6. Alright, this will be the first counter spell probably. They have fairies, so we could lose 3 cards to make sure that it goes through, but I don't think it's worth it. I actually want them to play counter spell more than anything. Yep, here it is, as expected. A nice draw. And we can start to going on the offensive here. Let's start with the bat. This will show us their full hand. We'll keep Demolition Field for the Reef. And you can see we literally will outvalue their deck with lands. Cut down, sure, we still see the card. And that will give us full information. They have 2 more, so 1 more interaction. Alright, Anoint with Afflictions waiting for those lands. They cannot go for the trick though. Alright, so they only have removal basically for this turn. That means we go for the Mastermind probably. There's not much they can do about it. They don't have mana in any way. They went with Ritual Chamber as well. We could go for the Robber here. We know that they cannot kill us on this turn and they cannot counter anything. I think this is good enough. 5, 8. I think we go all in. There's no... Oh, they have the Reef. that would be a little bit silly. With this, I think we go for 5, right? Yep, and now we have Demolition Field. We get 4 extra cards guaranteed. And they don't have plays. Alright, that's nice. I didn't expect that they have this Kaita. Huh. We can play this and Mastermind. This is pretty nice. You control. Alright, I think we're getting there. Not an easy game, not gonna lie. Liliana is good here. It is a removal. We need to be careful because they can remove 2 creatures. If they are going for the Reef, that's good. Do I want... You know what? I can live without Liliana. I want them to tap. I really want them to tap. Because that prevents 1 mana, which means they cannot go for the trick anymore. So it helps us. It actually helps us. Alright, now we can get rid of it. It's the same. The only difference is if they mute all the basics from our deck, and I don't think it will happen. I think we have 4 or 5 of swamps and forests, so we still have enough. Just going full Fury mode, which plays better? I guess they will still have it, right? Because it comes untapped, right? Alright. The truth is that I don't super need Liliana. She's nice, but it's okay. And I will still play the Mastermind later at the end step. And see if they go for some play here. This is the second card that they are drawing. So they kind of will feel forced to remove this, otherwise we're getting good value. This is the second card that they will draw. And that means they are fully tapped for this turn, and we have finally full reign over the game. And that's really nice. Alright. With this I think we should win. I think we should win. We want to attack with the cottages, but I think it's a little bit too early still. We can go Kaito, tap this, anoint this. They cannot cast the trick yet. Let's go, let's go. We'll use our opponent's strategy to win this one.
Don't worry, Pom-Pom-Chan. I've got this.
And this creates a ninja, which is also really nice.
Anywhere.
Yep. And we won this game using our opponent's strategy from extremely hard start, not gonna lie, but as you can see, you can win this game with lands. Going first, with some juicy cutdowns. I think this should go really hard. This should be a good hand. I believe. And even though we have all the tap lands, we have cutdowns, so it actually mitigates this. I will take it. 1 robber is something you probably need to get ahead in the game. Let's see the first drop. Nothing. And we want to search for lands right now. We want like 2 normal lands for the future turns. Oh, you are testing me. I cannot say no to Anoint with Affliction against the mountain. You know? Like, there are things that you cannot do, and it's one of them. So even though I desperately need lands, I will actually play this like that. Maybe we can set up Cornucopia. I would love to. Very nice cut down target. Thank you. I will be delighted to remove it on this turn. Let's play a land. Okay, so we kind of have set up the full game plan right now. We remove creatures. I really hope they will target it. Please pump it. Please do it. Just this one time. This would be so perfect. If they pump it, they are basically out of the game, I think. They are not going for the play. I still have to remove it, so let's go. Because I really want to set it up so I can start life gaining. We're at 20, so we are not in danger of dying to 4 open mana, alright? And this is an extremely good draw, because now we not only play Cornucopia, but we also don't miss removal, which is huge. And it's also extra mana for the robbery. So I think with this land we will win the game already. As you can see, our deck is incredibly equipped to just, you know, get rid of all the aggro decks. Oh, this will be hard. I don't want this to be shocked. Awkward. If I target it, they will probably shock it. I will try. I don't think it will work, but I will try. I think it's still worth it. Should I do it before it hit my face? I honestly think it was worth the try. Sometimes they can break and just pump it, and 3 life shouldn't be the biggest difference. It's all about like having extra card over your opponent, because then they have no gas and they scoop, so it was worth the risk, I think. Yep, as expected. See, they have it. They will prevent the life gain. Nope, I don't want. Alright, it's not that you prevented it, I just never wanted life gain. It's over, right? So now we need to, you know, go pretty serious about our opponent. We need to close the game, probably. because we cannot stabilize fully against this kind of, emblem. Do we steal 3 cards? I think we take more. I think we need more. So normally you could attack with Cottage and live game, but of course in this situation it's a little bit different. I think I will go for 4 cards. This is a good start to start getting ahead in the game. Also, whenever opponent sees that you are using their own deck against them, they really get discouraged very quickly to scope. That's something I've noticed. Oh no, I should say that I never wanted it. Oh, I guess I win because now I play Mountains. So I can go with... Bro, like we will be playing this deck better than they do. Let's go with... we decline respectfully. I have to say okay, because otherwise it will keep prompting. And let's go, we have red mana, we have mouse, we can absolutely play this deck. It's not very hard. And we have open removal. So I think they will keep removing it, that's why I didn't play the mouse, because of course, mouse would be a better play. But then they would kill the mouse and that's bad for us. And our opponent is starting to use resources against their own deck, and you know it's going bad for them. On the next, man, whenever we have access to aggro cards, it's so easy to get the value, man. Sure? So basically they traded their whole hand against their own deck. We're not going for it because we want extra creature. One of them can also double strike on the next turn. Here you go. Here you go, as you deserve. We don't even need to live game, they will never hit us again probably. Except like burn spells maybe and like 1 chip damage with Swift Spear or something. Let's go! This is correct mana. But this is so fun. We can just play aggro deck in non-aggro deck. And that means you're winning very quickly. I could go for Necropsy, but I'll be honest, I'm not super scared. I think we just want to push lethal faster. And they will indeed die to their own strategy. It feels like justice. I don't think they like it. Is that a rope? I think we're entering the roping stage of, robbery games, where opponent realizes that they are not winning this game and they don't want to see exploding to own creatures. Yep, and that is a full rope. I tell you, man, there's no deck that gets so much roping as this one. So we pump the mouse because of course we have red mana, and we'll show our opponent how to play mono red. Double strike, trample, easy triggers, 4 damage instantly. And it will only get worse for our opponent because we also have Cottage, we have Necropsy, and I think they will never play again until they explode. So let's cut the video. I tell you, man, this deck just makes for the saltiest of scoops, and I love it. Well, did it hit the spot right? I hope it did, because I always enjoy stealing my opponent's cards and just literally destroying them with their own win cons. I can feel the pain through the screen. Right? So if you are a Demir player, you probably love this kind of win con, and it also has the added advantage of your win cons is card draw, because Outrageous Robbery draws you cards for, every mana, so at some point you can just get card advantage from this, as well as stealing your opponent win cons. And because we play so many of them, we invest 4 slots into this, that makes it both easy to hit and also easy to cast it for like 2 or 3 mana, just to, get a little bit more ahead, so you can set up into the future part of the game a little bit better. And Heist can also steal cards, by the way. I think we actually never drew any of them. What the hell is with Shuffler? But it still goes to this stealing win cons gameplay. However, you can also use this just for a discard, especially against aggro decks. Early game you just want to lower their power, you don't really care about stealing cards because your deck is still better. You just care about tempo most of all, so you can prevent their combos. So this is very versatile. You can go into discard direction with Liliana and Heist, or you can just go instantly robbery. So I really like this kind of deck. And before before we wrap it up with some final thoughts, as usually, thank you for all the patrons for being here every single day, enjoying the content, and just rolling with us. So, yeah, I mean, it's so fun. So thank you guys for enjoying the channel. That's the most important part for me. So I hope you have a lot of fun with this video, just turning a little bit of aggro. And to be absolutely fair, I have to say, with Urgent Necropsy, this card, when it hits so hard. Originally, I had Tear Asunder in this deck, and then I realized that most of the time I would probably play Kicker, which means that this is just simply better. It doesn't exile, so there is a small drawback, but the fact that it can just remove everything is so good. You need to have some cards in the graveyard, so it's not always easy to set it up quickly. Sometimes you want to cast Robber for very cheap just to fill the graveyard if the situation is right. And I originally wanted to play something else except Journey, but I think this card is so amazing with Robbers, because this gives you 5 lands, which means that your robbers will always hit way harder than they should, and that gives you sooner or later those extra 5 cards, because with 5 mana you can pay 5 extra X, that's 5 cards, and that's your win probably. And we still play Cornucopia. I really want a lot of mana in this deck, and with Demolition Fields, Fountainports, Cottages, you actually have so many ways to just, you know, get some value from your lands. You can see that with Cottages, we can literally play the whole game out of lands. They exile graveyard, so if you hit an Reanimator, you can always use Cottages. And the live gain is super sweet, unless they, you know, then they nemesis you, in which case you need to kill them very quickly. And I still went for Demolition Fields, because I think there might be some problem for this deck if your opponent just makes Might with Poison every turn or something. So we want to get rid of this and match it with Fountainports if we cannot find Demolition Field. So yeah, I like the deck. This is one of my favorite ways to play Golgari. I hope it was the same for you. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you had a lot of fun watching the video. So what more to say? Just super thankful, and see you guys tomorrow.